सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Okay, one question came up. It is from our Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman explanation. He says, question is, from the word Jnanam, knowledge, how do you drop the object of knowledge? How do you drop it? Understanding wise, okay? There is no object holding in your hand to be dropped. Okay. Understanding wise. From the word jnanam, jnanam involves the knower, knowledge, and the object of knowledge. If you negate the object of knowledge from the knower, from the meaning of the word jnanam, there won't be anything except the I left behind. So it's a conceptual understanding. Okay, it is not, that dropping is conceptual, understanding wise. Okay, not, there is no physical dropping there. It's a more of a negation. The idea of the object is negated from the word jnanam. Okay. And if the object is negated, the subject is also negated. Then what is left behind? It is not that everything disappears. What is left behind is pure awareness. That is the idea behind it. I hope that is clear. Any further questions, please ask.
It's clear, Swamiji. Thank you.
Then we saw the section ending up with Brahma Pucham Pratishta. Any questions, clarifications up to now? Or it's all clear? Means all of you are clear that the question is that the object is negated, subject is negated. Subject object is a dichotomy. One does not exist without the other. Subject and object both has two standpoints. If one standpoint is gone, the other standpoint is gone. But it is not that the whole thing vanishes. What is there is that awareful being, that awareness is there. Clear or not clear?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
so after you negate both the subject and the object, the awareness left behind at this stage of understanding is limitless, or is it still a localized awareness?
It depends on how you are taking it. If you are taking it without Sat and only conceptually negating it, then it will become limited. But if you are negating it by adding the word Anantam, then your understanding necessarily has to be limitless.
Sure.
Because it is not just a simple negation as like I am not this, I am not that. We are negating using the word Anantam there. So since the word Anantam is used, limitlessness is used, and therefore because the word limitless is used, I cannot be the subject or object. Then what is left behind is awareness without the limitation of subject object. Then what is there is nothing but limitless consciousness. Yeah. Any other questions, or it's all clear? Because we come to Brahma Pucham Pratishtam, okay? What is left behind is only Brahman then, okay? Yeah. Okay, I assume there are no questions. That means everyone is clear that I am Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, okay? Yeah, I mean, that's what the whole thing is about. और क्या बात है? ये सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म, that's it. और कुछ नहीं है. Yeah. Yeah, all that is there is that satyam jnanam anantam brahman. That's it. Yeah. If that is clear, everything else is clear. And if that is not clear, nothing is clear. Okay. Yeah. So that's where the whole thing comes. That all that is there is only one consciousness. Yeah. The whole teaching is that. That's why after the whole creation, he went back. Yeah. Because one thing that stands in your understanding is of the limitlessness of your true nature is the world that you see. That's why even when you are saying from tasmat atmanaha akashadi sambhutaha, one question that should come up in your mind is, how from the limitless anything can be born? Because there cannot be something separate from the limitlessness. Therefore, we will say it is not really born, it is an appearance. So, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, etc. becomes an appearance. And with respect to appearance, manifestation, call it what you want. Okay. So, with respect to this manifestation, the same Brahman gets a name Ishvara. So that you will understand what is the standpoint we are talking from. Ishvara means the totality. And this understanding of totality is necessary because the world stands against your understanding of the fact you are limitless. Because the world is limiting you. In every experience that you undergo, the world keeps limiting you. In fact, you feel victimized by the world actually half the time. Yeah. 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 Just imagine if you are in that Chinmaya Prabhu's situation, how will you feel about the world? The guy is doing a lot of social service during the storm conditions in Bangladesh with all the ISKCON people, and then because he spoke for freedom, he is arrested and put behind the bars. The guy who helped Bangladesh where nobody else was willing to help. This guy helped, this ISKCON helped. Now they are being targeted. So you will feel victimized by the world. Yeah. Forget it. Half the people in Bombay will feel victimized if their maid doesn't turn up. I hear so many people cribbing. Maid ne. Yeah. Or if their ride keeps getting cancelled, they are booking rides by Ola, Uber, whatever, and it keeps getting cancelled. You feel victimized. Hey, what to do? Arey, walk out and take an auto. Yeah. So there is enough situation in the world to make you feel victimized by things. Therefore, to understand that I am everything, it's important to understand that everything that you are talking about is an apparent reality. This becomes the biggest stumbling block. That's why the totality is taken into account. Okay. Now there have been modern teachers who have tried to reveal the truth without bringing in Ishvara, etc. One of the first people was J. Krishnamurti, and the poor man struggled with his communication all the time. When he says the world is apparent, all he was talking about is social world, student world, this one, all are projections on the world. He was not talking about the world as sky and the moon and the stars. Yeah, read his books with a discerning eye. I am saying this because I knew him personally. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. and others, there are others today also functioning, like Muji and everyone. Muji is a Caribbean thing. But all of them stop short at that Sarvatma Bhava, that I am everything. They stop short at that, limited. Even Eckhart Tolle, the power of now, it doesn't encompass the fact that you are everything. It only talks about you consciousness, that the consciousness, everything, he doesn't talk about. Until later on he writes some books, etc. Therefore, he brings some general knowledge stuff into that. Yeah. Though the good book is good for knowing I awareness, book is good. But I awareness is everything, it falls short. Yeah. So like this, I have seen that. So the totality has to be brought in. So totality gets a name, Ishvara. Yeah. Or Saguna Brahman. Okay. These are the terms used. Okay. So that is where it is. Because there is no point in saying I am consciousness and stopping there. It's a big step, I accept. But you are still limited. Yeah. Yeah. Unless you understand consciousness is limitless, your understanding of consciousness is not complete. It is very limited. Therefore, what you are doing, really speaking, is talking about consciousness, like how some of the modern scientists talk about it, the consciousness that is manifest in your mind. There are a lot of studies done in the field of consciousness. Nowadays, a lot of studies are being done. And in all of them, they are talking about it from the standpoint of manifestation in the mind. They are not talking about the pure consciousness. So you will be also stuck at that level only, which is not enough for moksha.
Swamiji?
Yeah?
I just want to clarify if I have understood it correctly. So, when you talked about totality, Brahman in manifestation, so the manifestation, the creation that we experience, the underlying phenomenon, Brahman, truth behind it is what is Ishvara. Have I understood it right?
Consciousness which includes the whole manifestation is called Ishvara.
Consciousness which includes the whole manifestation.
Yeah, is called Ishvara.
Okay. Which includes, still a little unclear.
You are talking about consciousness from the standpoint of manifestations as well.
Okay.
Yeah. When you are talking about, listen, when you are talking about Satyam Jnanam Anantam, you are talking about pure consciousness, you are negating the creation. When you are including the manifestation, the creation, the same Brahman gains a name called Ishvara.
Okay, when you negate the creation, okay, when you don't negate the creation and you acknowledge it, then the same Brahman is Ishvara. Did I get it right?
Yeah. If you are acknowledging the creation, because the question is not whether you see a creation or not. The question is not whether you experience a creation or not. That's a given. The fact that you and I are talking means there is a creation. That can't be. Then there is, if any philosophy in the world, from any culture, if you are revealing a truth which stands against your experience, that experience has to be explained. This I am talking general now. Any philosophy anywhere in the world. Okay. Yeah. Like if somebody were to come and tell me, I see horns on your head, and the psychologist has to explain to him. My head there are no horns, but he has to explain to him why he is seeing that horns. Just saying it is not there is not enough. So similarly, you are experiencing a creation, and the truth is there is only one consciousness. Therefore, how the creation is manifest, etc., has to be explained. The reality of the creation has to be explained. And here it is taken as mithya or apparent. Manifestation, apparent. Not real. So if that is not done, you are never going to move to the fact that you are limitless. That will just never be a fact of your life. Forget fact of your life, even your understanding will be limited.
So creation is mithya, is what you just said, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Doesn't that make Ishvara also
The-
mithya?
What did I say? One second. What did I say about Ishvara was?
Consciousness which includes creation, the consciousness which is
I said, no, before that I said, Brahman gains a name, Ishvara, when you are talking about it from the standpoint of the creation. Go back and listen to the recording, I have said this.
Yes.
Yeah. So now Ishvara is a name which includes creation. Brahman and creation is included. There is no Brahman and creation. Brahman from the standpoint of creation is called Ishvara.
Someone from the standpoint of creation.
So it gets a name. Now you don't take, each name is not a reality. Each name is only a standpoint.
Okay.
Yeah. So in your mind you are taking Brahman as something, Ishvara as something else. That is where the block is.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Beg your pardon?
Then if we say that knowledge as Brahman,
Consciousness as Brahman, yes. From the word knowledge we arrived at consciousness. Because knowledge is a product in the mind. What makes that knowledge possible is the consciousness. So from knowledge we shifted to the word consciousness. Knowledge is at the level of the mind when there are thinking involved.
then consciousness and Brahman, are they the same?
I didn't say consciousness and Brahman. I said what is called as Brahman is nothing but consciousness. You know what you all are doing is, each word you are taking as a separate reality. One is consciousness, one is Brahman, one is Ishvara, one is this, Amka, Tamka, this thing, that thing. It goes on.
Then in one of the verse they say that Vijnanam Devaha Sarve, Vijnanam Brahma Chet Veda. So all the gods
Yep.
worship.
Yes. Because when you say a Devata or a Deva is from a standpoint of Ishvara. Okay? Now look at it. Again you all are getting stuck. You know, you all are getting stuck in this negation business. Okay. When I am cooking, what will I be called?
Cook or cooker.
Cook or cooker, yes. So I am a cook.
Maharaj.
Okay. Or Maharaj. Yeah. If you are a Gujarati, definitely Maharaj. That also gives you an idea how much food is valued in some cultures. Okay. If you are calling the cook Maharaj. Okay. Now I will say, okay, Vijnanam is nothing, the cook is nothing but Vijnanam. Right or wrong? Without knowledge of all the recipes and the processes, etc., where is cooking? You think cooking is a simple thing? Cooking is simple if you are making my khichdi. Otherwise, so much of knowledge is involved. Now, am I limited only to knowledge? Vijay, are you understanding? Yeah, I'm not limited to knowledge. But from this standpoint, all the devatas are nothing but manifestation of Ishvara's knowledge. So at each level, look at it. Now, I'm going to go step by step. All the devatas are nothing but Ishvara's body, Annamaya Kosha. Correct? They are included in Ishvara. The whole creation is included in Ishvara. Now I will make another statement. All the devatas are nothing but prana. Because they are all part of Ishvara's prana. That's also correct. Otherwise, how can they do anything without prana? Then I will say, all the devas are nothing but manomaya. Correct? There has to be some emotion backing up your action. All the devatas are nothing but vijnanamaya. Because without knowledge, where is the standpoint of a devata? Where is you and me without knowledge? What is it that is making the difference between you and me? My body, our bodies, our prana, our emotions and our knowledge. Isn't it that making the difference? All that is manifestation of one Ishvara's knowledge. So can you see, there is identity with Ishvara at all the levels. Then you say, whether you are experiencing Ananda, your dog is experiencing Ananda, a microbe is experiencing Ananda, or the Devatas are experiencing Ananda, all that is manifestation of Ishvara's Ananda. So what is the basis of the whole thing? Brahma Puchcham Pratishtam. Got that? Therefore, Brahma Puchcham Pratishtam, all that is there is one Brahman alone, which is manifest in zillions of forms. At the form level, there is differences. Differences? Not really. The finite is included in the infinite form. Your and my body is included in Ishvara's body. Your prana, my prana included in Ishvara's prana. Your mind, my mind, Devata's mind, all included in Ishvara's mind. The cosmic mind. Cosmic mind gets a name, Hiranyagarbha. Your knowledge, my knowledge, Devata's knowledge, all included in Ishvara's knowledge. What is left behind? Your consciousness, my consciousness. There is no your consciousness, my consciousness, there is only one consciousness, which is Brahman. From the standpoint of totality, we will call it Brahman. From the standpoint of you and me, we will say Atma. Just to indicate standpoints. When you say Atma, it is the individual. When you say Brahman, it is generally the totality. But here, if you notice in the Upanishad, he reversed it, he flipped it and say from Atma everything has come to show that Atma and Brahman is one and the same, which has been said earlier as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. इतना ही तो बात है. Simple. Not so simple also, accepted. So, what is it making not so simple? Our limitation in terms of totality. We are not understanding the totality enough. We are resisting it. And we are taking our experiences as too real. Because we are living in a world where experience is given more important. One generation back, all of us who are 75 plus, for us, buying an apartment or a flat was investing in a property, security. For those who are below 35, buying it's an experience. I don't want to invest in a flat now. I am wanting so much of experience because my job I keep shifting, so I don't want an apartment. I want experience. Why? My father's flat is there now to fall back upon. Because we are living in that experience is everything thing. Yeah. I mean, nothing wrong in getting different exposures to different experiences, everything, as long as you are growing from it. But that experience is given so much of importance that your mind is stuck, caught up in that, in giving that experience more reality than it deserves. Because we would think that a person has experienced different cultures, for example, would, really speaking, be able to take everything as relative. He says that. He becomes a liberal, which is good. But then gets stuck, because if somebody challenges some culture or something, hey, this practice is not healthy. No, that's different culture, you have to accept everything. Hey, but you can evaluate in every culture, there is something healthy, something unhealthy. Bound to happen. That's how cultures develop. It's not everything is beautiful. Everything has its purpose. If he is going to say everything has a limited purpose, I will accept it. But there are certain practices which are not healthy. Like in South American culture, for meditation, etc., they have a special brew that they drink. For certain types of meditation, that's fine, that's okay. Swamiji, I do it every day, unhealthy. It will damage your liver, it will damage your kidneys, it will damage your mind, your cognitive functions. It will play around with it. So that's unhealthy. Swamiji, you are dismissing a sacred practice from another culture. So there are a lot of things in our culture also which has to be negated. So many things are there. Yeah. So everything is like that. Any limited thing will have some issues like this. Yeah. So this experience orientation is what is one of the major blocks for understanding. Because experience is taken as reality. Swamiji, we all learn from experience. You don't learn from an experience. You learn from how you analyze that experience. If your analysis is proper, you learn from it, not otherwise. Remember my old story? Experience-oriented learning. This Padri was talking about, he was volunteering for Alcoholic Anonymous. So there was a huge audience in front of him, and he kept 2 glasses, 1 glass of whiskey, 1 glass of water. He took a worm and put in the glass of water. The worm is happily swimming around. Then he took it and dropped in the glass of whiskey. The worm turned here and there and died. Gentlemen, what does this teach you? So one red-eyed guy with a nice bulbous nose, red nose. Yes, my son. Father, you drink whiskey, there will be no worms in your stomach. That is what he learned from it. Yeah, because the father didn't give any analysis about it. Yeah. By the way, that doesn't happen because whiskey is not good for your gut health. It will kill all the good bacteria, not the bad ones. It will kill all the good bacteria, and the bad bacteria will multiply because alcohol is another form of sugar. That's why they are high calories. So, experience-oriented learning, you have to be careful about. Analysis of an experience will teach you something. Otherwise, you will end up with all sorts of distorted thinking. We have plenty of it. All men are dogs. Ask a young girl, a girl who is in her 30s, ask. Modern girl in her 30s, ask. Most of them will come up with this. All men are dogs. Yeah, correct. All men are dogs. Why? Because she was cheated by 3 men. 3 out of 2.5 billion. Okay. Experience-oriented learning. All women are dash. Same thing. Just because this guy was dished by a girl. That's all. What is the experience-oriented learning? Your experience is so finite anyway, so subjective. You are not leading an objective life. Then what you are saying, experience-oriented learning. Kya ye? Yes, examining the world is necessary, but examining includes analysis. The Upanishad says that pariksha lokan. He doesn't say experiencing the world. He says after having examined the world. That means a lot of analysis is involved. A lot of learning is involved. Yeah. Otherwise you end up with your own distorted thinking. Long back, when you all sat in my Gita class, remember? 2nd chapter, handling emotions. I gave you all 15 styles of distorted thinking. Yaad hai? Yeah. All that comes from your experiences. Wrong thinking based on your experiences. Aur kidhar se aata hai? Yeah. And sometimes These distorted thinking, when adopted as political policies, becomes a problem. If you are not with us, you are against us. That's a part of distortion. If you are not my friend, you are my enemy. The deep state functions like that. And they created problems in Afghanistan, they created problems in Iran, in Iraq, in Bangladesh latest, because of which we are also having problems. Indicting Adani in states. What gave you the right of a district court in states to indict a foreign national? What gave them that power? Delusions that we can dictate what the world wants. Distorted thinking. Completely distorted. Yeah. Yeah. So, experience, this is where, so whether it's at an individual level, national level, whatever level it is, if you go only by your experience, this will be the problem. And we do this. I am digressing to spend some time here because this is a major block to understanding the truth. That we are giving our experiences far more important than necessary. We are not being knowledge focused, we are being experience focused. Whereas the validity of the experience is what the learning we draw from it on the basis of our analysis of something. Otherwise, do you say, my experience, the world is flat, earth, I am walking on a flat earth, the earth is flat, do we say that? But isn't that what your experience is? You don't say that because right from childhood this idea was put in your head, earth is round. And some explanations were given why it appears flat. You did that in the second or third standard in school. Because of that you don't say it. Otherwise you would have said it. There is still flat earth society, etc. No? Functioning. Yeah. If you are going to an orthodox religious school, you will say it. Yeah. I have interacted with some of them, they are saying it. Not in Vedic education, because Vedic education, Bhugolam, etc. is said, so not a problem. Yeah. But I would never run a Vedic education school without putting modern education into it. Yeah. Because we need both. Yeah. So this experience orientation, it has to shift from mere experience to the learning, the knowledge that is there. And knowledge is not from an experience, knowledge is from a means of knowledge, a pramana, perception, inference, etc. and shabda finally. So it is the pramana that gives you knowledge. Yeah. The pramana gives you the knowledge, not mere experience. Yeah. So with that when you come, so the mithyatvam of the world is explained. The apparent nature of the world is explained because this stands against our understanding of the truth, that I am everything. I cannot take the stand I am everything, because what is everything? The fact of my finitude is rammed home with every experience. And we are trying to reverse the whole thing by saying I am limitless consciousness. And all your experiences are based on of limitations are based on your body, mind, etc. Which you are not, which you objectify. You have a subject-object relationship with it. Yeah. That's where the whole thing goes. That's why I said right in the beginning, minimum start taking things as relative. That's a stepping stone to understanding things are not really there at all, it's only an appearance. It's only an appearance, may be difficult in the beginning, but start taking it as relative. Yeah, whole world is relative. Therefore, nothing is absolute other than me who is watching the whole thing, witnessing the whole thing. So, let the relativity of the world be clear in your mind. Yeah. Yeah. Then things can work out better. Yeah. That's why should the Upanishad, after having talked about Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, come back to the Panchakoshas? Because he knows this is where people are stuck. Yeah. People are stuck at this level, at the experiential level. And therefore, he gives you 5 levels of experience, not just one. Level of the body is one experience, Annamaya Kosha. Prana, there is another level of experience. A mind, emotions, another level. Vijnanam, knowledge, another level. Anandam, bliss. People mistake that. Anandam, Brahma, I am blissful. You are blissfully ignorant. People come and tell me, Swamiji, what a nice meditation I had yesterday. I was so blissful. Very nice. You are blissfully ignorant. Why? Because you are making an experience out of Ananda. I am saying you are Ananda and you are saying I am experiencing Ananda. And if you make the whole thing experiential, another problem comes in. My generation. Acha, moksha is experience of Ananda. Dam maro dam. Those who are 60 plus will easily relate to that. Others also will understand because that song is going around a lot. Yeah, Karthik, you had a question.
Yes, Swami, just a clarification. Experiential happiness is in the Anandamaya Kosha.
Yeah, yeah.
Experiential sadness is in the Manomaya Kosha.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what is sadness but a rejection of my true nature? For sadness, there has to be a lot of mind involved.
Right.
Lot of emotion, lot of mind involved. Only then I will experience sadness. Whereas any experience of joy, in fact, it blows my mind. Highest Ananda, what is the highest Ananda you are capable of as an experience within the relative world? Deep sleep, okay. And deep sleep, where is the mind in deep sleep? Where is thinking? Where are thoughts? Where are feelings? Nothing. Yeah. Sadness is the rejection of Ananda that I am. Look at it, when I deny the Ananda that I am, I become sad. Why do I deny it? Because of a self-judgment based on some experience. I lost something. I don't want to lose it. What will happen to me? I am miserable. Why? Because a lot of thinking. See how much of thinking is necessary. Whereas, मैं रास्ता पर जा रहा था, बेलपुरी नहीं खाता था, कल ये रास्ता पर जा रहा था. And suddenly between two buildings I saw the full moon. Beautiful. Now here, when I am experiencing that joy, what thinking is there? So यही बात है. Negate your thinking, you are happy. Can you see how the conclusion comes? Again experience based. Negate your thinking, you will be an Anandamaya Kosha.
Swamiji, sorry.
Yeah?
If you think you will shift from Ananda to Dukkha, because will it last the next second we think?
I am not saying every thinking will lead you to Dukkha, but I am saying for Dukkha requires a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because see, any emotion is a build-up. One thought doesn't make you sad. I lost my job. Yeah, I lost my job. Does it make you sad? One thought. What will happen to me? Job market is very difficult today. How will I pay my bills? My financial influence is gone. I don't have much savings. I have to find a job within a month. Now all that will make you worried, anxious, sad, everything. One thought doesn't. It's a build-up. Any emotion is a build-up, except joy, happiness. There is no build-up. There is an anticipatory joy where you build up, but that's very minimal. Yeah, I'm meeting my girlfriend today evening, I have a date. When is class getting over? There's 15 minutes still left. Then there can be an anticipatory joy. There is thinking. But when you meet each other and hug each other, what thinking is there? If you're thinking, your joy is less. This is what Rajneesh was playing around in his books, in his talks. Yeah. All experiential. Yeah, it's all experiential. Whereas Vedanta is that you are Ananda, that discovery, that you are the consciousness which is limitless. When this limitless consciousness manifests in your mind, Ananda is experienced. That's why the word Ananda is used, to include your experience into it. So, does it mean that the wise person is always Ananda? Yeah, he is always Ananda. But he is not experiential, therefore he is not going around like a grinning gorilla. Swamiji, I lost my partner of 50 years. Where is life? Where is death? Idiot. That's not what is wanted there. Yeah. Empathize. Empathize with that person. Sorry. You can be Ananda inside, all right. Quiet time. Yeah. Swamiji, I am very happy today. A child is born to me. Baba, you are always Ananda. Why do you have to depend on a child for Ananda? Same thing. Inappropriate. That's not the response expected. Yeah. You have to learn to empathize with you. Someone who really understands I am Ananda will never respond like this. Even if he is a sadhu Rishi, staying in Rishikesh, cut off from society. What Rishikesh? Gangotri. Cut off from society. Rishikesh, now there is a big society. It has become yoga capital of the world. Problematic. And adventure capital. Everyone comes there. There is a Taj that is opened up there. Narayana. And within walking distance of our ashram, there is a nice cafe there. They will give you cappuccino. Those of you coming for the camp, please don't try it. It is not worth it. How do you know? Because I have tried it. Somebody dragged me last time I was there. Not worth it. Yeah. And if you feel like drinking a cappuccino in Rishikesh, come and ask me when you are in Rishikesh. I will tell you where to go. That also I will know. The idea is this, that even if you are living in Timbuktu, away from everything else, inappropriate like this, yeah, they may not be very culturally appropriate for a person because he doesn't know what culture you come from. But basic human emotion, that response will be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Because there cultural variations are there and nobody knows every culture anyway. Yeah. If you go to UK and you burp after a meal, you will be horrified, your host will be horrified. If you go to Japan and do the same thing, the host will be very pleased. He has really enjoyed our meal. It's a different culture. You don't have to know every culture. Unless you're going to go and live there, then you better pick up something. So it is not a question of cultural appropriateness. I am saying what is appropriate in terms as a human being. If you are Ananda, you are Ananda, fine, acha hai. You understand that? I mean, there is no more experiential. I am Ananda, not I am experiencing Ananda. So someone countered this argument by saying, Swamiji, I don't want to become sugar, I want to experience sugar, I want to taste sugar. This licking habit has not gone. Yeah. So how do you answer that? In fact, I would take a two-step answer. I would say, you don't really want to experience sugar, you want to know sugar. Oh, I know it's sugar. No. The sugar is nothing but sweetness. And the pramana for sweetness is your tongue. So actually speaking, you are knowing sugar. And in the case of happiness, in the case of sugar, yes, you may want to experience it sometime until Diwali. At Diwali, you got fed up of sweet experience. You want some chatpata stuff. Too many sweets. That's why they'll make some karam also along in Diwali. Some chuda buda they will make. Something spicy. To get you a relief from the sweetness. That's experience. And you will be hunting experiences until you discover I am Ananda. Then the need for experiencing Ananda is gone. Why? I am Ananda. When will the sugar start search for its sweetness? Tell me. Imagine with me. When will the sugar search for its sweetness?
When it doesn't know that its own nature is sweetness.
Exactly, when it doesn't know its nature is sweetness and is denying its own nature of sweetness and projecting something else as sweetness. That's why in Bhandaras in Rishikesh, you will hear this, this verse chanted. Because when a lot of good stuff has gone inside, Ananda comes out, So all the verses come out. लहर ढूंढे लहरी को, कपड़ा ढूंढे सूत, जीव ढूंढे ब्रह्म को, तीनों ऊत के ऊत. बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. It is true. The wave is searching for water. The cloth is searching for the cotton. The jiva is searching for Brahman. I want to know Brahman. I am a seeker. I am a serious seeker. I don't believe in all this cultural nonsense. I want to go straight to the truth. Narayana. Tino ut ke ut. All are fools. All are idiots. No, Swamiji, I believe in all cultural things, everything. Adhyasa creates the seeker. Ignorance creates the seeker. The seeker is rooted in ignorance. Therefore, don't get too identified with your role as a seeker. Why? I am here not to confirm you as a seeker, I am here to negate the seeking. I am pointed, you are the sought. You are nothing but Brahman. But sometimes you can get too caught up in that seeker identity. I have seen this also happening. I told you the story of that young man. He is with his 12th guru now. I was his 8th guru. And he's written an article also in couple of years back in Speaking Tree. As a seeker with 10 years experience, I know how to find a guru. Your 12th guru is still not found your guru. 12 jan gaya. Why? He's too much of love with this seeker identity. Therefore, he'll go to your teacher. Teacher will validate you. Then a time will come when the teacher has to confront you. That time he gets uncomfortable and runs away. Because his ideas are challenged, he runs away to another one, to another one. Because his seeker identity is strong. I'm a seeker. Unless he drops that, he'll never understand it. He has to come to a traditional person and be able to accept that traditional person. If he can't, we'll say a prayer for him. Ishvaro Rakshatu. So this is all the... Why? Because the whole thing comes from two things. One is ignorance, that's basic. Ignorance and mistaking yourself to be body-mind. But what ramifies that is everything else. The reality you give to the world, the reality you give to your experiences. Yeah, this is where the whole crux is. How real you take your experience to be. How many of us can you... Just an experience, yaar. Enjoy it when it's there, forget it when it's not there. Just an experience. Some of you don't know what all experience I have gone through. Very traumatic. Revade. We all been through. Everyone has been through difficult experience. Who has not been? Yeah. Who has not been? Yeah. I just said goodbye to a Guru Bhen last week, few days ago, Bhuma Vidyananda. I knew her since my student days. She was one of our sannyasis. Yeah, so she's what? Gone? Ah, one with Ananda. Yeah. But did you say that to her sister and brother and everything? No, of course not. I rang them up, spoke to them, spoke about their loss, spoke about what a wonderful person she was, which she was. But grieving? Not really. The one with Ananda. Yeah, you will miss talking to her and things like that, of course. Yeah. It's an association from 78 onwards. It's a long time. Yeah. Good teacher. She taught well. And she gave a beautiful message to her students before she died. She knew she was going. Very nice message. Yeah. So, hey, who doesn't undergo loss? Yeah. Who doesn't undergo? Everyone undergoes loss. Another loss I am expecting. Expecting a loss? Yeah, I know one of my inspirations. I talked about in the fear workshop and all about him. Major General Suri. I met him last month in Delhi. He may go anytime. Yeah. In the class I can say there is no real birth, no real death. But do you think I will tell that to his children and grandchildren? When they attend the class I will tell them that. When I am meeting them personally, it will be different. But it's just an experience. There is no birth, there is no death. That's a fact. So, you can emotionally validate the feelings, etc. At the same time, understand they are relative, they are not real. They are temporary, they come and go, they are just appearances. There is no reality in any of them. Reality is what is underlying, because of which all these experiences can happen. That one consciousness which is both seer, seen, and the cause for the seer and seen, Ishvara, all three are one and the same. Yeah. So that's all that is there. That recognition is when you understand Brahma Picham Pratishta. Brahman is the basis for the whole thing. Yeah. All that is there is Brahman. That's it. Finished. Yeah. Think about all this I have said. I have not gone ahead with a verse because I went a bit fast on the other verses because I wanted to come back and go forward, backward, like how I did, so that the understanding becomes clearer. Okay. And think about it, contemplate on it a bit, reflect on it, and then if next class there are questions, otherwise next class we will go ahead. Okay. Next class will be there because Friday 8th I am here. Friday is what? 6th. Yeah. 8th there will be no class because of the Vedic Wisdom Festival. Okay. Yeah. So those are not registered, join up, it will be fun. You will hear different speakers on different topics. Yeah. Including Ayurveda and the historicity of Mahabharata, things like that you will hear. Yeah. And someone has put the Gita into a dance form. Not done the whole Gita yet, and you can't do the whole Gita into a dance form in 1 hour anyway. Yeah. But she is a devotee of Puja Swamiji. I have known her for a number of years. She is doing it well. Yeah. So, you will have some very, very interesting speakers. So, it will be worth. It is only a 1 day this time. Normally, we keep it a 2-day program. We have kept it only 1 day this time because the people who are working on the ashram project and this are same people. I can't put too much of load on all of them. Okay. So, we said instead of cancelling it, we will have it 1 day. So, if there are any questions, clarifications today, we still have a couple of minutes, or it's all what I said clear enough. But spend some time thinking on it. Knock off your experience orientation. That's one of the most important things for the study of Vedanta. No. Yeah. Get reality oriented rather than experience oriented. Look at the reality of things. Because at the back of an experience there are some realities. Even in the functioning world, at the back of experience there are some realities. Get in touch with that. Then it will help you to get in touch with the absolute reality that is there. Brahma Pucham Pratishtha, that is the thing. Brahman is the basis for everything. The whole world, you, me, God, everything is only one Brahman. You, me, God is only standpoint. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvaraha. The Jiva, the individual, Jagat, the world, Ishvara. Three standpoints, three manifestations of one Brahman. The only difference is, when you say Ishvara, the Jiva and Jagat both are included into it. So Jiva, Ishvara has a special status. He is the, when you say Ishvara, he includes the world because he is manifest as the world. But as the cause of the world, you will say Ishvara separate, because the intelligence that is manifesting the world. Therefore, that thing will be there. Okay, so good place to stop then. Okay, Om Tat Sat. Little smaller class today, but fine.